Hello, all of you Vainglorious, wonderful people, and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where today we are in a brand new city. And you're like, well, that doesn't look like a brand new city. That looks like a city of almost 12,000 people. And you're right, but it is brand new. It is our new complete series for City Skylines in the town of Vainglory. And we've got industry complaining about not having enough places to sell cargo, despite the fact they are right here by a cargo train terminal and they've got two places to export to. So, yay, it's going so well already. Anyway, so this is a brand new map. I will link, I'll put a link in the description below to the Steam Workshop so that if you like this map, you can get it yourself. We already have a fully upgraded forestry industry going. Most of this is residential. We'll give you a peek here at the zoning. As you can see, big bulk of it residential, a little bit of commercial here, commercial here, commercial here. But just a tiny little bit of industry, a little bit of high density residential that's still in the process of upgrading. Though I do have the, what's the word I'm looking for? The high rise ban in place. I think I want that to be a little lower. Yeah. I do have the high rise ban in place just so we can keep things a little bit, from getting too big city-ish over here. I'm trying to see if I can align these buildings here since I adjusted that road. There we go. That looks better. I know it's got that weird cliff right there, but I'm okay with that because there's the highway right there. And I can always make that a highway with the sound deadening on it. But yeah, it's a lovely map, and it's kind of what I want to do today is kind of take a look at the map itself. So we will go all the way over to back here, actually. One of the cool things that the creator of this map did, and I have expanded on, was they already had some wind turbines, or wind turbines, however you'd like to say it, established on the map. And they did have power lines running down the mountain and along into here and into our starting square. I got rid of those because I use Clyde's electric road mod, which sends my power through my roads. So I didn't need the power lines, and I thought I would just, clean it up a little bit and get rid of those. So I did that. Another nice thing is this city came with a couple water pumps, a water tower, and water and sewage running all the way into the city. We've got, you can see the original connection kind of came down this way and then in again to the starting square, and then I just had to build off of that. Kind of easy to do. And there is sewage out here as well. It might be a little on the cheaty side because it's just literally these. I can't click them because they came with the map, but it's the just the raw sewage being dumped just straight out. We will eventually change to something other than that, but I can't really delete those without the movement mod. So this was the starting square, as I mentioned. It came off the highway right here, and it was just that square that you see right there. I did use the 81 tiles mod to go ahead and lock the whole thing. What I like about this map and my plan for this is to actually have several different areas in use here. Like, I don't know if we'll do anything up in this area. We may just leave this kind of natural forest as a natural division. But you can see the highway has numerous off ramps. So, we could do a little community over here or some industry over here. We could have a big town over here. And of course, we've got a termination point for the railroad. And then we also have the highway coming off on both sides. Really unique highway interchanges. I don't know how well they're going to work. We'll just have to wait and see and hope for the best. I kind of wonder if that should be a bridge instead of a tunnel. The tunnel looks a little odd there. Maybe that might be something we change a little bit. We could have some industry over here since it's got shipping with like a little neighborhood over here that they could, just jump over here and go to work. Of course, we can bring bridges across all of these rivers. Another nice large area right here that we can work with rail access. And then down here, we start getting into some really cool looking land as we get close to the water. We've got, the keys or Ks already in a highway entrance point right here, though it's really close to the edge. It's going to be hard to get a roundabout on that. So I may adjust a little bit and just bring all this in some. It may not need to go that far out. And then we've got, just kind of like a little harbor almost, like a natural harbor that we could maybe do a fishing industry or something like that off of. A lovely little, what looks like a canal coming here that we may do something with. Hard to say. And then we've got an area over here clearly meant for an international airport, though we are far away from getting that. Not really sure what is intended to go here. It looks like the map creator had something very specific in mind for right here with these rail lines. I'm not sure yet what that is. But over here, we've got a great connection for our cargo. You can see that the cargo line actually comes in out of the ocean and into this harbor here and all the way up a fairly good distance. And so we can have, some really good shipping going on through here. We've got the train coming in and, of course, a road coming in that we could easily just have a cargo terminal right there with the rail and the water access. And then another huge area over here and over here. I love that there's these tree lines kind of dividing it up, almost makes it look like farmland. And then we do have natural resources. So there's some oil, lots and lots of farmland. Not as much ore as I would like to see. About the only place that there's really a good quantity of ore, and I always have trouble locating it. It's way back here, yeah, because there's more areas back here even that we're going to be able to work with. We can maybe get a quarry in over here, though it's really far from where all the other industry would go. I doubt we'll build anything up toward the mountains or back here on the map edge. I just don't see myself doing anything with that land. But we'll probably do a little community over here, most likely based around the ore industry. Maybe a small city that kind of comes up and is just tucked into the foot of these hills, maybe following the train a little bit. We'll have to see how that works out, because it is really hilly over here, but I think we could do something nice with it and just have this be its own little secluded area over here. I mean, it's really beautiful. I mean, it really is. It's absolutely beautiful area. And with this water right here, it'll have pretty decent land value. It's already at medium land value without building anything over here. Moving around here, of course, big ocean area. One of the things about this map that we ran into with the live stream is it's very disaster prone, like back-to-back disasters. So I've turned the frequency of disasters down, not off, just down, to try to mitigate that some, because I mean they were coming like one every 2 or 3 minutes, and that kind of gets in the way of gameplay. We do have a roundabout that comes off here that we might be able to peel a road off of to cross over, but also maybe get it to come along here and do a nice little coastal community. Not sure of what, because it's not a lot of land there. But there's a lot of really cool stuff here. And then, of course, we have like this little island, as we autosave and get really laggy. But this whole island, right here will be really nice to build on. So it's a good map. We've got a lot of good stuff to work with here. But as usual with a lot of these things, I'm not 100% sure where I want to go next with this. There's a lot of options that we could do. We could come down here, start some farming, and have like a little town over here and a farm over here. We don't have the rail terminate, but we could bring the rail off. I did mention, we have the cargo terminal over here, so that we can do the imports and exports. But we also have a train station in already, so that our residents, tourists mainly, but also residents can get around the map. So, if they want to work in whatever eventually winds up being over here, well, look, here, this train terminates over here. So we could easily bring, a train terminal, cargo terminal, however we want to do it, right over here, and people will be able to use that as part of their mass transit. Same over there. There's just tons of areas, right here again. We've got the train terminating, so it's just a really well thought out map that I think we can get a city of 80 to 90,000 out of this, maybe even a little bit more. I love how this is nice and flat right here behind the train line. So we can just have something right at the foot of the hills here. And of course, the railroad is elevated. So we'll have no trouble getting streets up under that. It'll be really cool. We'll have to change this intersection to be able to have that type of access, that or have lots of overpasses. But I really don't like having an area have just one area come in. We can maybe bring a road down here off of that and maybe bring this road down and do something like that. But again, that's stuff to look at later on. This area is doing really well. It does have a 5-star national park, which gets a decent number of visitors and is bringing us in about 10 times what it costs to run. And just sitting here, we've gotten we're up over 12,000 people. So we're well on our way to the 14,000 when we can start getting like our first college campus. Not really sure where we want to put that. Of course, we can also get crematoriums, which can't come too soon because this cemetery is full and this one is already about 20% there. We did have a death wave because I wasn't paying attention, and that one filled up and we didn't have anywhere to put all the dead people. One of the things I really like about the national park, though, coming back over here, is it does run up the hill. So we've got the observation towers taking advantage of this really cool hill up here. Even have a little camping site up here by it. So we can have people come up here, get a nice view, and then we have like the decks down here that kind of give you a nice view just out over the valley. And then, of course, all the camping and things like that. I would like to put in a few more trees. I had the forest brush mod installed, but it stopped working. So I'll have to put trees in manually, which is kind of a pain to do. But it's not too big of a deal. Like, we can come in here with the brush size about that big, bring our brush strength down, soften it up, and just kind of, dot in, maybe our brush strength a little more than that. Just dot in a few of the taller trees just to fill in a lot of this area. So I want it to look like a nice, wooded area, not so much just, wide open the way it is right now. I think that just kind of makes it look a little better. And then, of course, we also have giant redwood number 2 that is in here. So we will just spread a few of those in. And then somewhere, I don't remember what the smaller tree is. But there is a smaller tree as well. Let's figure that out real quick. Is it you? No, it's not that tree. You? No, not that tree. Is it the oak? Nope, definitely not the oak. Is it that? Nope, not that one. That's just a bush. Those are just bushes. I'm not really sure what this tree is. I don't have anything really custom downloaded. There it is. It's that tree. Our sugar maple. So we will bring in our brush size up. Bring our strength up a little bit too. And kind of fill this in with some of these smaller trees. Just so it is nicely covered all throughout there. And then that, I think, looks a lot better just by having just a lot more trees. Kind of gives it that, nature camping feel. So without, being too just like dense forest, we've got the little camping sites. It's a nice place to be. It's just a nice little park. It's our first touristy area for the city. And we're already bringing in, 170 tourists. That's not bad for a city of 1,200. That's not really, that's it. That's our tourist attraction right there, other than parks. Education's doing fine. Just to kind of, again, we're just kind of introducing you to the city. We're right there on the borderline of our capacity, but I'm okay with that. As long as we have enough room for everybody, we're good. High school, a little bit under capacity, but it's okay. And then we're great with our capacity on our university. We have our healthcare. We don't have any dedicated healthcare over here, but we do have the policy for worker healthcare. So that kind of takes care of itself. Death care covering most of the town. Fire coverage, we've got a couple fire stations, one there. But then we also have our watchtowers there and one over here somewhere. There it is. And then I think maybe that's another fire station. Yeah, it's another fire station. And then a watchtower there. And then we've got the helicopter depot back there. And then, of course, our crime, we're going to have to do something about. Because mainly it's the fact that we don't have a whole lot of capacity for criminals. And we've only got the 2 police stations. So we are going to have to keep an eye on that and think about that pretty soon. Let's take a look and see where we want to go next on the map. I kind of would like to go over here, but I really want this to be kind of like city. You know, I'm thinking that, you know, if we have like big city here, that would look kind of cool. Maybe even here. And then the rest of it all just suburbs, and like this can be like industry and suburbs, and this will just be, you know, obviously transportation. God, we could even do like the really cool cargo or passenger boats as well. We don't have those unlocked. I'm not going to use the ferries just because the river kind of meanders, and I don't think it would be in a very efficient way for them to get around. We will use metros locally. This area doesn't need a metro. It has bus lines that get it covered pretty well. That, the last I checked, we're doing okay. I haven't looked at them lately, and it looks like, yeah, even the busiest one is keeping up just fine. I cut a lot of these down to just 50% on their budget because a lot of the buses were just running empty. And even at 50%, they're keeping up without any issues. So this one could maybe use 1 more bus on the line, so we'll bump him up to 5. Oh, there we go. Now to give him his bus that he needs, and that was line number 4. So we jump over here to line number 6. Let's just check all these real quick. Because it's been running for a while since I made all the changes to the budget. So I haven't gone through and reviewed to make sure that we're not leaving anybody stranded. And nope, it looks really good. And of course, for the buses, we are using the biofuel buses as I always do, so I like them. But we do also have the intercity bus station that not only serves as a way for people to change bus lines, so a lot of the bus lines do come over here. But this also brings in the intercity bus coaches that brings in your low-income tourists, so it's kind of cool. So I think, you know, instead of actually starting to build things up, what I would like to do is figure out highway access. So what we have going on here is a couple different things. You can see this highway down here, it actually terminates right here. And I'm thinking this could be, if I can get this, that's a road I can't go underground with. This is why it's not letting me go underground. If we bring the highway light over to here with a roundabout, that could be one way to get into this area. And then if we bring this connection here over, that could give us another area in. And then the same thing here, bring that connection over. And then we could maybe even bring a road in off of this side, or even this side that kind of just follows the coast and just sneaks past this mountain right here, just the foot of the mountain. So those are the things I think I'd like to do, is get our roadways figured out, get that all in, and then go from there. What I'm thinking would be a cool thing to do here, though, is converge this down. Let's see, it's a 2-lane. That's a street. It's not even a highway. Let's change that. I don't want this to be a street. I want this to remain highway here. So what we're gonna do is grab our 2-lane highway. Space is already occupied, but that's what the Anarchy mod is for. Make sure I didn't actually blow anything up above ground. No, it's good. And now it is truly a highway. This should maybe be 3 lanes since there's an exit there. But 2 coming on here. I'm not really sure how well this is going to work. It looks like the idea is for you to be able to go left, straight through, or right. But the way the traffic is set up, that's not what's happening. So let's investigate this intersection and make it work here. So obviously this side is meant to just let you go to the left. So we want to get rid of that right-hand turn. That one's obviously to go there, and then that one takes you straight on. Here, I don't think there needs to be the left-hand turn. So if they want to get on that highway, do they have any other options? It's a weird looking roundabout over there. Just looking to see if they have any other options. So if they go here, yeah, they can exit off of there and come down and around. So they don't need to need to turn left here. But what about people that are coming from this direction? Can they get onto that highway through that weird squidge about? I don't know why it's so weird. That's just kind of the way it came on the map. We might be able to redraw that and make it a little bit better. But this is a massive intersection, and it's, I think, maybe a little overcomplicated, and it doesn't need to be. See, I think maybe this should be 2 lanes right here, since we've got the 2 different directions coming on. So yeah, let's do some surgery here. Whoops. I don't want them turning left there, and I don't think they have a need to turn left there. Because if they're coming down this way and they want to get on that highway, they can do so right there. Also, is this only 1 lane? There's a 1 lane roundabout. That could create issues. That could create a lot of issues. Let's do some changes here. Make it at least 2 lane. And then see if we can't sort out the shape of it here. Maybe if we like bring this a little farther back, and then bring this over and this over a little bit, and then bring this up and then curve it a bit more. Looking a little better. Not perfect still, but let's give this a bit of a curve. Oh, it breaks it right there. So what we need to do is bring that a little further back still. Now can you get a good curve on you? Yeah. So that looks a little bit better, but we don't need... Why is that wanting to turn right there? Is that what it's talking about? Is that right-hand turn? So let's dictate where the traffic can go here. So if you're... I've got a weird node right there. And it looks like people are stopping for some reason. Let's fix that. No, I want this. Well, there's 2 nodes right there. So just carry through. You don't have to stop. Oh, I hit escape. And then that one's carrying through, but they're still stopping. Where's this other node? We got one there, and that one's fine. And we've got this one here. But this one doesn't have any indication of just carry on through. That's weird. So what we're going to do... it's this little bit right there. What we're going to do is just delete that and then put it back in. It's the... it's this highway, I believe. 2-way highway. We're just going to plop that back in, and now that should get rid of that extra intersection there. Yeah, now we're good, and they can just carry through, and so now they shouldn't pause there. Now they should just be able to go right through. It's hoping to see another truck come through, but whatever. So let's do some traffic management here. So this lane, I think this is just going to be a nightmare. So these guys can go that way or this way. These guys can go that way or there. This lane is going to stay that lane. Then here, this lane can go here. This lane can come around. And this lane, I think we're going to have to let them... because there's not a node for them to change lanes. So if they're in that outside lane, they're going to be stuck. So I think I'm going to have to let them from here. This one. I'm going to have to let this lane come over. That could create problems later. Then this lane, we want to stay outside. This lane can go there or there. It's because they can dart down and go in there. Here, you can go there. Oh, we're going to have to let them... We're not going to have to let them. It'll be fine. So these guys are just going to be straight throughs. We'll let them dive down. And then here, this lane can go there or there. And this lane stays put. And that should function there. And let us do some better stuff with this highway down here. So what we were focused on all along was this down here. And I got a little distracted. Because that happens. So I just want to bring this out across and then get it out of tunnel mode. But I'm kind of thinking I would like to, while it's still down here, change it into just our national highway to come on over. So we could bring this up off. I'm on the curvy road here. And it's really hard to see what it looks like when we're underground. Yeah, see, that's doing some weird stuff. These roads are just so close together. Let's go underground here. Maybe bring this off at a little bit of an angle here. Got a bit of a curve. So at least I can make it around like that. You have to make the sound effect or it doesn't work. So see, there we go, and then flip that around. So now that side will just right off, and this side will do its thing. However, what we can't see is right here. Yeah, see, that's saying you can go left, and we don't need that. We want them just continuing straight on through. And then we just have the 4-lane highway here that we want to get up to ground level pretty quick. So let's even get rid of that segment. Let me find, there we go, 4-lane highway. And see how quickly we can get this up here in a way that doesn't look bad. I think that's good. It's right there at the water's edge. Oh, wait. That might not work. It might be a little too low. Well, what we can do is grab our Move It mod now. Get back above ground, grab that and all of that, and just raise this up a little bit, I believe. And that should raise the whole thing, I thought. Maybe I need this node too. I need this node too. There we go. And then what does that look like now? It's a little high on this end. So we'll bring it back down, and then it kind of sticks out weird on this end, but at least that keeps the water from flowing into the tunnel. So that'll give us a connection there. And then we can like just carry this little road on here. It's a street actually. And just kind of keep following its curve that it has, which is about that. For some reason we're in the air. So let's bring that off. Or back down to the ground. And then maybe just kind of like across right there. And then, yeah, that's looking good. So we've got this end covered really nicely. What we don't have is a whole lot of coverage toward our middle bit. Of course, we are going to bring some bridges across. We're going to wind up tearing down some people's houses here. So we're just going to have our bridge come across like here. Like that. And then probably one more just here. And I think the 2 will be fine. I think that'll be plenty to get there. And then we can bring, once we're over here, maybe a little bridge off to do just like a tiny little exclusive neighborhood right there. But that'll get us our road access once we get a bridge off of this. But I kind of want to play with this intersection a little bit and see if I can't bring all of this, 1, into a less confusing intersection, and 2, bring it a little closer to the highway so that I can get a little bit more space. I like what they've done in the roundabout, though, to decorate it. That looks really nice. That way I can get a little bit more space and not have this having to go, because right now it just has to go off into being a, what kind of road is that anyways? I've got Net Picker, but I don't know how it works. Or I did have Net Picker. maybe I don't have it anymore. Is that this street? Yeah, it's just that street. Okay. So that would just be a bridge across like that. And that would get us over there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our 5 right here. Not all with direct highway access, but pretty close, so it should be fine. And then we'll pick it up from there. We'll be able to go and get a lot of things done. Of course, this is the city that will be streamed in live streams as well as featured here on YouTube. So if you missed out on the whole building of this area, the YouTube archive will be up a week. In a week, yeah. So next Thursday, not this coming Thursday. So you can watch for that YouTube archive or Twitch archive here on YouTube. And of course, come hang out with me on Twitch. I'm live every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central. Now that we have a new city to play, we'll probably be doing some city skylines, because I like doing like these instead of building infrastructure during these shorter videos. I like being able to build them during streams, because obviously we didn't get a whole lot done today in our 32 minutes together or so. But that is going to do it for today. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.